Whoa, thanks for the jams. Appreciate that right out the gate. Thank you so much for the cheer. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us here tonight. We are back. I think it's been about a month since we've played this campaign, so we've been chatting a little bit before I came on, trying to dust off the cobwebs and kind of reconfigure where we're at. But if you're just joining us for the first time here tonight, for this particular show, this is 20 Sides Against Lankhmar. This is a mini campaign that we have been sort of rolling through to utilize some of the materials that were included in the Dungeon Crawl Classics box set for Lankhmar. And so we've been kind of doing a little bit of mix of just generating plot seeds, adventure hooks, NPCs, and things like that from the materials in that box set, and then interspersing it with a few of the published modules. And so tonight, our adventure pretty much is taking place within the context of this module, acting up in Lankhmar, and then there are some elements of the personal narrative of the characters here that will pop up as well, and only to further complicate what is already a very complicated situation in the module. So, just as a refresher for where we are at in the campaign, the group here have been in Lankhmar for a couple of weeks now. They've successfully completed one official job, and they also, I think, got a little bit of a score from a guardhouse that they broke into to get to at least reclaim some of the equipment that Ruclef had lost after a night carousing in Lankhmar. You know, if you want to see a pretty fun little heisty kind of thing, go back and watch that episode. But at the end of the last session, the group had been contacted by a man named Jallo, who is the owner, producer. I don't know exactly what he probably wears many hats within his role, but he's basically the leader of a group of actors that call themselves the Dung Sweep Players. And basically, he had come to the characters asking if they would help be security for the theater, because their troupe is one that kind of specifically lampoons the elite and the nobility within Lankhmar. And they had recently written a play called what is the official title of it?
The Fiascos of Duke Hogfat. Sorry, I wrote it down last time.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. And it is one that is lampooning one Duke Borvat. And actually, the event that they are making fun of him for is one that Mickey had actually been privy to or had seen. Basically, there was a cart that had crossed Duke Borvat's entourage as he was traveling through the city of Lankhmar, and this poor commoner, this merchant with this push cart, drew his ire, and Duke Borvat made a big scene of this and ordered his captain of the guard to go and beat him to death. It would seem that Duke Borvat likely doesn't have much of a sense of humor and has actually threatened the theater troupe for putting on this play that is just a mockery of him and really puts him in a bad light. And it is a theater that is attended to by both the underclass and, you know, the nobility. They like their toilet humor too, and so they are known to sneak into the theater as well. And so news of this play or this show has filtered up to the nobility, who are snickering and laughing behind his back, and he just does not appreciate it, to the point of he's kind of threatened with the implication of violence potentially on this troupe of actors. So Jalo has reached out, has heard that this group is a capable group, and wants them to come and kind of be the eyes and ears while the performance is going on, just to ensure that it goes on without a hitch. This has been their most popular, most successful production. The group has also identified that, so Mickey has sort of an interesting story going on right now. Mickey, very early on in our campaign, had made a deal with an entity known as the Hates, who it's kind of a god, kind of a deity patron that is usually endears itself to the downtrodden, the down on their luck, to get vengeance on those that did them wrong. And so the Hates had offered to Mickey that they would maybe lend some assistance in getting out of a bad predicament early on in the campaign if Mickey would slay a really important person in Lankhmar, the nephew of the Overlord. I believe his name is Lord Snarv Kaistomerces. And they have learned that he attends these theatrical productions, and so there might be an opportunity here for Mickey to achieve one of his objectives in satiating these Hates, who have grown very impatient with him. They believe that he's had multiple opportunities to fulfill his bargain and has not done so, and so they have contracted out to another group to kill him, and they put an ultimatum on to Mickey that basically, if you fail to kill him before this other group handles it, then you're going to be next on their list, and you're going to pay your debt one way or the other. So that is sort of a secondary thing that's complicating this mission. I think maybe that's the background that we need to have. Maybe before we get into gameplay here, we will have the players introduce their characters. So why don't you just tell us what we need to know about your character, maybe what they're thinking currently, maybe what some of their concerns are about the job and what might go down. So why don't we start? We should just start with Mickey, because let's hear it from his mouth first. What's going to happen here?
Well, I'm playing Mickey. He's a thief with the swindler path, and he's very worried about this contract he has with the Hates. And if it was just a simple offing this Lord Snarf, I think we could do that. But we have all this responsibility to keep an eye on the play and worry about the other group that's going to off Lord Snarf. There's just too many complications and too many things that can go wrong. So I'm Mickey's very worried about that.
Makes sense. So next up, we've got Dave, who's playing Wes.
Yeah, I think Wes would just be just trying to relax a little bit and understanding the complexity to the mission here, and just trying to figure out a way of how, to protect the theater, but then yet trying to maybe make an opportunity where Snarf will have to go to the bathroom or something, or trying to keep an eye on him at the same point in time. Wes doesn't want to lose Mickey at all, so feels kind of a little bit indebted to him. It might be my fault that he got sent to the gladiator pits, and so probably feeling a little bit guilty about that right now. So
awesome. Let's go over next to Gabe, who's playing Alef.
Hi guys. So Alef is an aspirant wizard, not good at it really, not good at anything really, and to tell you the honest truth, he is alive today because of the other 3 folks in the party. So he is a little bit split because he knows that no matter what happens during this job, things are gonna be bad for them. So honestly, we'll try to do his best to persuade that, we shouldn't be trying to kill that VIP, even though he knows that, kind of Mickey has to do it. So as we approach the mission today, he is very concerned and is trying against all odds to find a way out of this where nobody gets killed or burdened with, so much stuff to do or impossible tasks to fulfill. So that's how he's going into this job today.
Awesome. And then next up, we've got Chris playing Ruclef.
Hello, I'm Chris. I'm playing Ruclef. He's a fighter, not necessarily, extremely bright or anything. Bit of a drug problem. Served as leg breaker and stuff like that, and enforcer in the past, which is kind of what he is used to. Currently, at the moment, Ruclef he's not one that really has had many friends or real close acquaintances and stuff like that. He's got one, but for the most part, everything was more business, I suppose. At the moment, with him going on his bender and wrecking up the town and these guys helping get his stuff back and everything, he feels a little more, I guess he has feelings for these guys, right? And figures that they're smarter than him. They'll come up with a plan. And he's pretty much at this point decided that, he will do whatever he can to keep these 3 alive, no matter the cost, with the camaraderie that he has really, that he's feeling right now that has never really had that much in the past. So.
Awesome. So that's the group here. Basically, where we're going to pick up is the day of the show, and you're coming onto the scene like during the day. So, the Marshlight Theater that you have been hired to protect is located in Mummer's Court, which is a neighborhood in sort of the poorer part of Lankhmar. And as you're maybe the poorer part of town isn't the right way to say it, but it is in maybe like the poorer part of the Plaza Quarter. And it's just like this, as you're coming into the scene, there's a circular court basically surrounded by some fairly shabby looking buildings. But it's not like a totally vacant area. There's just lots of kind of maybe some neglectful landlords that own these buildings and such. And basically in the center of the court, you can see there's a stone well, and there are all sorts of vendors that are setting up, likely food carts and just individual kind of business people that are wanting to profit off of the theater that's happening tonight. So there's a bit of activity here, but nobody that's like waiting in line or anything for a show. You still got probably we'll say there's like 8 hours. Like it's morning time and there's 8 hours before like people would start arriving to get in line and things like that. So lots of like alleyways in between the buildings and things like that. So you're already kind of seeing like, yep, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to keep a lot of eyes on every potential path to like where the theater is. But One of the buildings is clearly the Marshlight Theater, just based on some of there's some marketing kind of materials, like a banner that has kind of, stitched into it Marshlight Theater, and there's some different, signage that seems to point towards this one particular building that kind of doesn't really look like it was originally intended to be a theater, but it has definitely been converted for that purpose by the Dunk Sweep players. And so you can see there are kind of two doorways if you can look at this map here in Foundry. I don't really have a map of the court outside, but this is kind of where the entrance, this would be the front-facing side here that leads out to Mummer's Court. And there are basically two sets of double doors that lead in. And kind of along the tops here, there are windows, but they definitely aren't like... They're like really high up the sides of the wall. Like they might be, I think they're like 12 feet up or something like that, and they're barred. So like there is kind of like almost like a factory or kind of feel to this building. Like it wasn't originally supposed to be a theater. And as you walk in to the lobby here, there's sawdust that covers the plank floor. Shabby whitewash walls. You see two sets of stairs that lead up to it's kind of like a balcony area up here. And you can see there seems to be some entranceways that lead into what you would presume to be maybe the balcony area of the theater. And then there's like one central, really big kind of archway underneath that balcony that leads out to the pit area, where there's some benches, some tiered benches and such out there, where you could buy a seat to be out there. But then the poorest of poor, they go and they hang out in the pit, and it's just standing room only there. There's no seating or anything. You also would notice in this main lobby area that there are two doors like off to the sides here near the stairways. Probably there's nobody here at the moment. And so you walk through the doors and everything were open, unlocked. And you walk in here. This is just kind of the lobby area. So the actors and the stagehands and such, there's nobody out here really doing anything. Your presumption would be they're probably backstage or, elsewhere in the theater. So I think I'll pass it to you guys right now to like kind of discuss things you're thinking about already, any preliminary plans you want to make, and then you can tell me if you want to go to different areas of the theater.
Are we the only four that will run security? He doesn't have.
Yeah, he doesn't have anybody else, is your presumption.
Okay.
Is he with us now?
He is not.
Okay.
But your guess would be he's around here somewhere.
Okay. So I guess if we kind of toured the whole building, I guess my main question would be those two back doors behind stage and stuff. If we could somehow, chain those shut, get some chains and some locks, chain them shut from the inside or something. See what he would think about that.
And find out if that stairway that leads to the alley, the delivery door in the back.
Yeah, it looks like there's two of them, right?
Yeah, well, there's the one that leads to that alleyway. Did you see that one?
I don't see that one, no.
Are you looking on Foundry? Where the cellar is?
Yeah, so we'll say that you guys kind of go and do like a like a survey around the building here. And so there's a narrow alley between these two buildings that you'll go up. You'll see a couple more of those like kind of barred windows. You'll get to the back here where you'll see, yep, there's kind of two stairways that rise up maybe 8 feet or so and kind of lead into these two back doors. Then as you circle over here, you'll see that there is it's like two metal cellar doors that have like a chain wrapped around them and like an old rusty padlock on it. And so that's right there. You'd continue around, and you'd see, you know, kind of just like the other side, several very high barred windows, and then you'd come back around to the front here. And you did get from Jeff some fleeting luck, so 4 fleeting luck in the pot as we start.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you. Got a feeling we're gonna need it.
Yes, what do you guys think? The 2 doors to the back and the cellar door. I could pick that with my eyes shut.
Yeah, there's no reason why they need any deliveries after this point. They should have all their deliveries here, so that door should be secured somehow.
Yes, and I believe from the inside, if we can, that way you cannot. The thief cannot get into the facility, but and then we channel everyone through the lobby and we keep an eye out. Elf, do you have any connections that would know this lord or who his people would be or who he would be hiring?
I don't think so.
No? All right. What's your guys'...
Is there a way to break the locks so that they kind of are blocked?
You mean plug the lock so that they can't be picked?
Correct. Like in a way, sabotage ahead of time.
Yeah, I think it could be sabotaged, but then no one can open it unless you saw it off. But that could be done.
But I'm sure Jala would not be happy, but for the purposes of our job tonight, it will make things easier.
But it's an old rusty lock anyway, so we'll just, we'll jam it and we'll just say it don't work anymore. You're going to have to replace this lock later,
So just so the group knows, right now I am just considering this is all talking that you're doing, and I'm not assuming that you've done any of these things until you say, yes, I'm going to go and take an action and do that. So
yes, yeah.
And I will summarize what I have down as preparations before we move forward. Just so we're on the same page.
The doors in the back, do they open inward or outward?
I would say they move. It makes sense that they would swing in.
Okay.
Now there are these 2 passageways from the lobby to the back of where the people doing the play would go. Maybe we should limit that to just one passageway, so so we don't need to have two of them going back and forth then.
And perhaps once the play starts, we can wedge something under the doors that they cannot be opened inwards. I've seen that done. That at least while the play is happening, nobody's sneaking in the back.
Yeah, that would be good.
It seems like the windows are already barred. They'll be tough enough to get into, but the doors are our biggest concern. And then Where do you think we should stage ourselves? Maybe 2 in the pit and 2 in front
Well,
in the lobby.
are we more concerned of protecting the theater goers in general, or since more than likely they're going to target somebody that would be are the elites um, up in the up above the rest of the crew, in a balcony, or is that where the lords would be sitting?
To get confirmation for a question like that, you'd probably have to go find Jallo or somebody else.
Well, I would travel from the lobby up those stairs and through one of those 2 doors
You want to
and
go up
take
there?
a look.
Sure.
Yeah, and just to see whether what kind of accommodations are up there. I could probably determine whether that is a seating area for the more well-to-do up there.
Yeah. So
Something.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say something else for security purposes is we may want to have this Jallo introduce us to all of the hands, the costume people, the actors, and everything, and make sure that there's nobody new jumping in tonight or anything like that. That they know everybody and can vouch for everybody, and just I guess get a not really like a dossier on everybody, but just do our rounds and get to know the faces and stuff like that.
So we will start with you all going up to the balcony area. I don't know if I love the way this map has this outlined. Basically, like the basic rundown is there's a balcony up here. I feel like what's on the map here with all these seats is really kind of like the ground level seating. Like there's tiered seating in the back behind the pit, and then there's the pit. So like the balcony area where you're currently going to right now, there's actually like tiered seating on the floor below it. If that makes sense. And there is no way to like get directly from one to the other. You would have to go back out the way you came, down those stairs, and then back through like the main entranceway from the lobby to the pit area to get down to the ground level. But anyway, going up to the balcony area, what you see here are several rows of low-backed benches bearing faded, tattered upholstered seats that overlook the pit below and provide an unobstructed view of the stage. And probably from while you're up here, you could see that there are like stage hands on the stage, kind of setting up like set dressing, pieces of wood, flat paneled wood that have different like little castles depicted on them and just like mountains and scenery or whatever. You can see also that there are 2 stairways here, one over here and one over here, that seem to lead up to single doors that presumably go backstage. And we will say that Jallo, you recognize Jallo on stage. He's dressed a little bit flamboyantly in very kind of garish colors. Big kind of puffy white shirt with kind of frills and such, and he's got kind of a foppish hat with a feather in it, and he kind of waves. He recognizes you. He was just waving and kind of gesturing, maybe for you to come down to the stage area to have a conversation.
And I noticed the fly loft area might be a potential problem too. There might be somebody that might be able to get in through the roof and come down through there.
Yes. I would say I don't think the flyloft area would be visible from where you're currently standing, but you would probably presume there is such a thing back behind the stage.
Well, I would think from the stage you could probably, don't they use those openings up above to do different things during plays? You know, someone swing across or
At least in this stage, in this area, you wouldn't be able to see it from where you're standing. Like it would, like the ropes and the ladders and everything that lead to the flyloft area actually are back a bit. It's, I guess you could see the underside of it. Yeah.
the openings where
Yeah.
up above.
But you can't, like, where you're seated, you can't see like the top. You know,
Mhm.
there's probably stagehands up there. Like you probably see like like ropes and stuff kind of like being moved about and such.
Yeah. But if we're wandering around, we'll, like in 1-7, we'll see the ladders that go up to that area.
Yeah. Yep. So you want to head down, go kind of towards the stage area.
Yeah. I suppose we'll see what he wants to tell us.
All right. So you would come down here to the lobby again, go through this tunnel basically that leads out to through this area of tiered seating. There are 3 sides of the theater's interior that are occupied by backless benches crammed together on tiers. The benches are scuffed, splintered, and generally look rather uncomfortable, at least in comparison to even though it was pretty shabby up there, those seats were the padded, a little bit more comfortable, perhaps, than these beat-up benches. There's like support pillars that are clearly like in the way of a lot of the seating. Like these aren't the best seats, but they probably beat standing in the pit, which is right here. Just it's really just like a timber floor that's pretty dirty. Just like kind of dirt and just trash, probably from like the previous performance, are still strewn about, like little chicken bones and just like refuse that has been just discarded there, kind of collects up even along the sides of the walls and whatnot. And then old wine. Once in a while you're like walking around, it's a little sticky patches of spilled wine and stuff like that. And then up here you've got the stage, and it is a simple, well-worn stage that dominates the end of the theater. It's looks like at one time maybe it was a black painted stage, but it's all scuffed up and the paint is all kind of peeled back, and it's just kind of like bare pine underneath it, in large patches. You can see the old sailcloth curtain is dyed a deep blue, and looks like it can be raised and closed by fraying ropes. And then you can see from the stage area here, there are probably for the actors, exit stage left, exit stage right kind of thing here. And you can also see probably that back here, there's a couple of exits out off the stage as well, back behind some of the set dressing and such that's been propped up there. And there, Jalo kind of comes up to you all as you make your approach. He says, "Ah, my heroes, my champions have arrived. Welcome, welcome, friends." And he gives a deep bow. "We are forever in your debt."
We hope that we can meet your expectation.
Well,
It is a big place. The four of us might have some difficulty covering all the angles. Might we inquire if you would have some of, I don't know, children of this troop that would be available for us as runners or messengers or something of that sort?
ooh, I don't know that we have any children to put to work, but certainly maybe we could hire out some find some outside folk to come and do such tasks that you deem imperative to securing our theater here tonight.
Yeah, that could be done, but you know, the least people that we don't know are part of this tonight. That the state will all be.
Well,
Now that I wasn't implying anything, but you know, in case there was someone who could do a basic stuff of communication between us, that would have been appreciated.
well, unfortunately, everybody that I have here already has jobs and tasks that they must do here to make sure that tonight's performance goes on without a hitch. But certainly, if you feel that it is necessary to scrounge up some street urchins to pass a couple of coppers to, I'm sure that could be arranged.
What do you guys think? Because I was thinking, it's four of us, right? So we would need someone back of the stage, just as backup. Someone in the pit, someone in the lobby. That's already three. So, what do you guys think?
You don't have any extra people that would want to play a different part this evening?
Oh, make me a luck check.
Is that a D20?
Yeah, try to roll under your luck score.
That is a 9 on the die. My luck is... What is my luck? 16 at the moment.
All right. Let us see. Yeah, he'll say, well, I guess we do have one understudy that we could probably spare. I can't foresee needing his services tonight. Yes, goal two. And he calls out to someone who seems to be like right off stage with a script, and he's just like feverishly like reading through the script, and he says, "Goal 2, it turns out you will be needed tonight, and these four will be the producers of your show." And Goal 2 just kind of like his eyebrow raised. He says, "Oh, so you don't need me to play Duke Hogfat?" He's like, no. What? Well, for what it's worth, you're kind of lacking the figure for the part anyway, and this will be a better role for you, Goal 2. These four have been hired on as security for our theater. As you know, we are sort of under duress by the very real Duke Borvat. And so they will be performing security, and they are going to need an extra set of hands. do you think that you will be able to assist them? And you can see he's not at all excited about this. This is not what he wants to be doing, but he nods his head in agreement. He says, "Okay."
Is he a big guy, little guy, medium guy?
He is like a scrawny guy. You could see like the guy that's going to be playing Duke Borvat is off to the side. He's a big jolly guy, and he's got kind of like a, you know, he's like they couldn't be different. You know, you're kind of scratching your head. Why is this the guy the understudy? But it is what it is, and so he's like early 20s, kind of a baby face, just kind of little malnourished frame.
I kind of whisper to these guys here. I'm like, he could get dressed up and at least give the appearance, you know, wear some costume sword and stuff like that. I mean, at least give, you know, if anybody's going to do something, they might think we've got 5 of us. I was hoping for more, but
Mickey whispers, I have an idea. It's kind of unconventional and that, but I could bring in some more people to keep an eye on things, but they are going to want to have the opportunity to ply their trade while they're here. And I'm talking about pickpockets, but they will circulate through the crowd and certainly be aware of the different personnel, the different people that are here, and they might even know what they're carrying because they're going to be picking a few coin purses. But we may give them that opportunity in exchange for them giving us a word on if they find someone up to no good in the crowd.
Well, it's potentially a good idea. However, we need to consider that people being pickpocketed might not please them exceedingly. And
Well, we are not going to be hiring them.
oh, okay.
So they will not be under our employee. It's just an opportunity for them to come into the theater to ply their trade, and they will give us information in exchange for that opportunity. But if they get caught, we've never seen them. They're on their own, and we can make sure that they know that.
Jala, these 2 doors behind us on the back of the stage, can we are those used during your performance at all?
You're talking about the ones that like lead outside?
Yep. Yeah.
He would say no, those are not used during the performance. And he would say you're thinking about if we might be able to secure those or lock those during the performance.
Yes, we'd like to lock them from the inside, possibly chain them or bar them.
He
Should
says,
be all right with that.
Yeah, he says that would be no problem. It's probably a fair idea. I do have the keys to those, so we could lock those, and it wouldn't be too much to rig something up to bar them for the evening.
And then your cellar door, the one from the outside, I see it has a lock on it as well, but there would be another thing. Would we be able to bar that one from the inside?
Oh. I'm afraid I don't have the key to that lock. I've never been down there myself, but, you know, we'll leave that kind of to your discretion, what you think should be done. if you think the lock will hold up, if you think it needs a little something extra, by all
Yes, it would
means.
need. Yes, we'd put something extra on that. I could pick that lock very easily.
Guys, so let's check up the cellar, especially since Jalo here is saying that he's never been down there. Just to make sure, there's nothing down there that shouldn't be there, including rats.
Yes, that's what I was wondering next, was your rat problem. If you have a rat problem or not.
All right. So he would point you towards all right. I mean, you're gonna head outside, right?
I think we're just going to go down in the cellar.
Oh,
just to
okay.
look at it. Just from that staircase, right? In 1-7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that he's never been down there. He's never been down there through that door, is what I meant to say.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So yeah, you could head down the staircase here. And down in the cellar, it's very dusty. It's a brick-walled cellar. Thick wooden supports rise to meet the timber ceiling above. And there are a pair of ladders here, actually, that lead up to trapdoors in the stage that they sometimes might use for special effects or what have you, to have people coming and going up and from the cellar onto the stage or vice versa. And then you can see that there is a staircase that you would presume that staircase leads to the alley. And you can see the back side of the double doors.
Okay. I guess I would just ask him if he's going to be using those trap doors at all for this performance down here for this tonight's.
He is not planning to use these trapdoors tonight.
Okay, because we might set up some tripwires or something down here tonight. If he would just let his staff know if they are planning on it, just to not go down there. It's too dangerous then.
That sounds good. He says, yeah, he can definitely alert his people that there's no need to go down into the cellar here tonight for the performance.
Okay. Anywhere else you guys would like to check? Anyone else see anything else?
Yeah, let's just give a general check, just making sure there's, no secret stash of weapons, stuff like that.
Where did you want to check next?
No, still in the cellar. Like we just.
Oh, just kind of looking about.
Yeah, not that we're gonna spend like 2 hours or so, but just making sure there's no like stashes of weapons or other stuff that might be considered suspicious.
There is not. I don't know how long maybe 10 minutes or so you want to spend down here.
Yeah.
Mostly what's down here is just like discarded materials from like the carpenter or the deckhands or the stagehands that are constructing like set and things like that. Like there might be some piles of like lumber, maybe some boxes of nails, and maybe even some like miscellaneous tools and things like that. It's like mostly that kind of stuff that's down here. But you do a thorough check just to confirm that, make sure.
I guess we would ask him next, just does he have any other concerns where people would try to get through or have in the past?
Oh, he would probably say they haven't had too many problems like with the Thieves Guild or things like that. But certainly the back doors says are probably a good call to have those locked and barred, as that would be an easy entrance into the backstage area to disrupt things.
Where's your costume area?
He would point you to this room here. And you can walk back there, and you'll see there's a small room which contains a variety of costumes in various stages of construction or repair. There are racks filled with actors' garb, wooden heads that bear wigs, things like that. And there is a woman with sort of like olive skin, black hair, and she's sitting at a desk with a needle and thread, and she's currently kind of stitching up some kind of a dress, likely is going to be used tonight. Older looking woman, like in her early 60s, very tough looking skin. And she just kind of looks up and she says, "Oh, you must be the security detail that Jalo is hired on." Well,
Indeed.
he's already given me whatever it is you need, where you need me to be, you just let me know.
I awkwardly chuckle and say, "You have anything in my size?"
She just like kind of looks at the dress that she is currently stitching up. Oh. We don't hire a lot of actors that are your size.
It was a joke.
Oh. And she like doesn't laugh. She's just like,
All right. Well, my name's Ruclef. Let me know if you see anything suspicious, I suppose.
And she just kind of nods and like kind of goes back to her work.
I'm used to that odd reaction from people. Close the door. And
So that was the tailor, right?
Yep. And then this other room over here, Jalo would tell you that that's like his kind of like his office, basically. There isn't really like a dressing room or anything. Like people just kind of wherever back here. It's just kind of open.
I guess if we would have seen that, like the holes in the ceiling, I would try to go over to the ladders and climb up there and see how tall it is or how high it is.
Yeah.
see if they're locked, I suppose.
There's no lock. It just kind of like you climb up this ladder. It's like 30 feet.
Oh, so that's quite a ways up
It's
there.
quite a ways up. Yeah. So once you get up here, there's a couple of people that are like rigging stuff up and messing around with rope and set pieces that'll lift up and down. But yeah, all sorts of ropes and pulleys. And then this catwalk is like pretty precarious. Like you don't have to do any skill checks or anything to like move about up here, but you have to be very, very careful. No
handrails.
No handrails.
No.
And
do I notice the windows?
You do see the windows, and they lead right out onto the roof.
Okay. Are they open at all? Do they look like they open and close easily, or are they barred?
These are not barred.
Okay.
They're propped open.
Probably gets pretty hot up here if they don't prop them.
Well, the theater in general is, like if you went and asked Jalo about that, he'd be like, well, it's already like sweltering hot. Like we need some kind of ventilation, or it just gets so uncomfortable for the people. So,
about how high from the catwalk to the roof are they?
The catwalk, like basically it walks right out onto the flat topped roof.
Oh, it walks right out onto the roof.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
We're gonna need someone up here, guys. This is such a easy way to gain
Yeah, it's
entry.
probably almost all of us, I would think. I guess I would talk to any of the guys if they know how to rig, if they're good at rigging ropes. Have they dropped people down quickly to the stage before?
There maybe like one of them is like been with the troupe a while and like remembers some performance where they did that some time ago, but he doesn't have like a harness or anything to like set that up safely, you know, like he would he's like having a hard time like remember the details of that particular show, but he's like, yeah, we did do something like that once upon a time for some performance like 5 years ago or something.
All right. Well, what do the rest of you think of this? Is this where we're going to be sitting?
I would think one of us at least, but I would think one of us up here, one in the main lobby watching the pit, and one maybe up on the balcony, and then one either stage left or stage right. And we just kind of keep meandering.
Keep walking, you mean? Yes.
Well, I think the lobby needs close watching while the people are shuffling in, and we can get an idea of who's entering into the play. After the play begins, the lobby's going to become a lot more empty, and then you can probably shift more to the balcony area.
Figure out a place to put our the understudy so he's visible as an extra sword arm that's here, even though he doesn't really do anything. He's just a prop.
Maybe in the fly loft area as well. Maybe we can hire a few off the streets or something.
So
Well,
Go on.
well, I can go and get some chains and some boards and some locks for the doors. What's the rest of your thoughts?
Is there any during our visit we notice anything else that we would flag out as, you know, for example, like supporting beams that seems a little bit rickety? I mean, in other words, did we notice anything that could be easily rigged during the performance to create a little bit of a chaos? And we might not be qualified to do that, so that's why I'm asking this way very generally. But after we've done a tour of the place, perhaps we found something or not.
probably nothing that is like on its own like a weakness. I would say in general the building itself is overall poorly maintained, but there's not like the one support beam that's like been, you know, nicked or something. But probably you couldn't, you know, you have no idea what kind of things that the Duke would employ. So there's all sorts of like scenarios where, yeah, maybe you're thinking like, I don't know what you're thinking, but like totally right. Like there's support beams in the cellar that are holding up the stage, like that. Maybe that just feels like that could be a weakness. Or there's the windows in the up on the fly loft area, like that's clearly like kind of a liability that someone could just walk along the rooftops as people do in Lankhmar and just kind of sneak in that way. So I wouldn't say anything that's like the thing, but just like in general, everything kind of feels like, yeah, we've got our work cut out for you. So are there, we'll say probably like all of this kind of just checking out the building probably takes you up until like early afternoon. So things that you want to do that might take longer. I've got that you wanted to have like the back doors barred. Jallo can kind of have some of his carpenters or whatnot like doing that part for you, and those doors already locked, so like they can handle that. One of the things you wanted to...
Mickey will go down and jam that lock in the cellar going out to the street. He'll jam something in and break it off so it can't be really picked.
Okay. I would say like probably the lock is already kind of that way. Like it's a janky lock.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be able to be picked, because you wouldn't be able to get anything in the keyhole then. But
probably whoever's busting that lock is not picking it.
But we're gonna make some other things barring that door as well, I believe.
Yeah,
didn't we say that? Yeah.
So that could be one of the things that you do today is like go out and buy a chain and a lock or something so that you can do that. So if you have one of you that is like specifically going out and buying some things.
Yeah, I'll go buy the chains and locks. And
okay.
With the carpenters, if he's got carpenters that can put some boards on it, but just to extra secure it. That way, if someone is getting to get through it, it maybe gives us some time to hear it, or gives us some time to, kind of slows them down a little bit.
Was there? Am I recalling correctly that there was talk of going and seeing that fortune teller again that you saw there, Dave? Was that ever mentioned, or am I misremembering?
I think that was before when I was gonna try to help Mickey with the hates, but then when they contacted him, or were we thinking about contacting them and seeing if we could extend his contract? But with the other people going to kill the Lord Snarv, I think we already know we have to do it before them. There's not really much.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about maybe approaching Lord Snarv and offering our services to protect him, because we've heard that there's a contract out to kill him?
I think that's been one of your issues, though, is like how would you do that? Like you'd have to know where he is. You'd have to have the hookup to like set the meeting. Like it's not like he's just waiting in some like static location for you to walk through the door to like do that. So that's why you were trying to tail him. Like you had been in the midst of like trying to figure that stuff out.
I thought if we're covering the lobby, I thought we might see him when he comes in.
Oh, you're saying in the moment here. Okay.
Yeah. Although, who among us would he recognize me?
Lord Snarv? I think he'd recognize all of you.
Oh, all of us.
He was on the boat with us.
Then it would probably be one of us would have to disguise ourselves to approach him and offer him that then, I guess.
So as far as during the day here, so I've got Wes is going to go and buy some stuff for you. What are the rest of you doing with the rest of the day?
I guess I'm not really good with anything manual. Alef is not. So he will propose he goes around with the troupe and kind of get to know everybody by name and face and just make sure at least one of us is familiar with the folks that we expected to be seen, walking around the stage at night. just making sure at least one of us. True, we do have at this point goal 2 who can do that for us, but just in case, at least another one of us.
Yeah. There's probably about 20 or so people that are in total that are involved in this production or this troupe. So we'll say that, yeah, that's what you're doing. Like you're trying to like jot down some names, get to know a little bit about their backstory and some things like that. I'll come back to you, I think, in a little bit here. So we got Alef is getting to know the troupe. How about anything, Ruclef, that you're up to?
I would be maybe assisting with any of the labor stuff here, and also directing that understudy that more or less tell him that the part that he's going to play is just to be a visible member of security, I guess. So maybe show his acting skills and his disguising abilities and stuff. Make yourself look bigger, put on some fake weapons and such like that, things that look real from the costume gallery, and seek me out once he looks a little more warrior-ish, I suppose.
All right. Yeah, he'll just be like kind of like hanging on your every word. Like he's asking a lot of questions about method and like, do you think like should I be like wielding my weapons at all times, or like maybe just like sheathed with like a hand on the hilt, and like he's like trying to get down exactly what your creative direction is for him, and then he disappears into the costumier area for some time. And how about Mickey?
Mickey's just casing out the. How are these? Do these people buy tickets, or do they just?
Mm-hmm.
Who? How do they collect the tickets when they come through 2 double doors? Do they just?
So basically, it's a pretty chaotic process. They've got some, like, people start to fill up in the lobby, and there's a couple of people that'll kind of filter through the crowd and sell tickets. And then the tickets are collected by the valet people, I guess, at the doors. So, like, they would have...
Okay, so there's somebody at each door to collect, to let people in.
Yes. So there'd be like, there'd probably be like 2 people here at the main entrance to lead into the pit and kind of the general audience area, and then there'd be like a person up here and a person up here for the balcony.
All right. It'd be like maybe one of us could. I think maybe I'd like to be in the lobby and maybe take the place of one of the ticket collectors, so that I could watch who's ever entering.
Okay, sounds good. Is you're collecting tickets or selling tickets?
Collecting.
Okay, and do you want to be taking the place of somebody on the down below or the up above for the balcony?
I think down below, and then, but I'll be able to, observe the people that go up the stairs as well. But I won't be collecting their tickets. But
okay, sounds good. So we're gonna start things off with Wes. You had some things that you wanted to buy. That was like a chain and a lock, right?
Yeah, and then would they have like caltrops or ball bearings or something that I could put in the cellar floor just in case? Or like just some if I'm at like just have the carpenters maybe put some nails and some boards, and I'll lay them on the floor or something.
Okay.
You know, with the nails sticking up, just in case we get someone that wants to try to come through that way, maybe
So
like a makeshift trap.
I'll say like chain and a lock will run you. Oh geez, it's a little pricey. 30 gold.
Oh, is it? Oh geez, I don't have enough for that then. What about just some I guess I'll just have them spike the doors or something. Have the carpenters spike the doors and board them up.
Yeah, you could get some spikes for 1 silver piece each.
1 silver each? Okay, so I'll do like how many silver do I got? How many gold rilks go? How many silver on a gold rilk? Is it like 10? Kind of like D&D?
I think it's the same conversion, yeah.
Okay, so I'll do 16 spikes.
Sounds good. And then you wanted to get some like caltrops.
If they got them.
Yeah. We'll say those are like 1 gold each.
1 gold each. Okay, so I'll get 4 of them.
Okay.
And then would I have enough? Would there be enough time that I could start doing like makeup or disguising the rest of the party at all?
Like what are you thinking in terms of outcome?
Just like try to make them look different. I guess I'm trying to think what it would
Big
be like
beard
at
on me or
DC's.
something.
Yeah, like a
So
fake
Lord
beard.
Snarf doesn't recognize us?
Well, so it's harder. I mean, I'm sure you'll still recognize us.
Yeah.
We're in our clothes and stuff, but just to kind of throw it off a little bit. Maybe like some
Well,
fake mustaches.
Okay, you're just generally trying to not look like yourselves. You're not trying to impersonate or anything. Yeah,
No.
I think you could go backstage and probably talk to whoever does like the makeup, and they could help you.
They could help us out with that. Okay.
So
Perfect.
we'll say it gives you like a +2 deception bonus on. Like
Okay.
if Lord Starve, I don't know. If I decide that Lord Starve sees you and he's gonna make some kind of a intelligence check, that it'll be like you get
Sure.
a little bit
Okay.
bonus on that.
Okay. Thanks. I think that's it for me. And then I would head back there and, have the carpenters do that stuff for me, and I'll set up the caltrops up in a couple in the basement, and then a couple up in that loft, kind of where those windows come down. So
Sounds good. Caltrops in cellar and some below the windows. Okay. Let's go next to Alef. So you're kind of getting to know some of the people a bit, and one of the actresses, when you come upon her, you just kind of notice that she seems to be kind of like frantically searching around backstage. Like she's like lifting up piles of costumes that have been discarded, or clothes and bags, and she just says, oh no, where could it be, you good sir, yes, you might be able to help me. I have a bit of stage fright, and I need my lucky charm, or I am doomed to give a performance that'll make me the laughing stock. Could you help me find it? It is a silver button with a theatrical mask on it. It is very important, please.
I will certainly help you. Not that I'm good at finding anything, really, but I'm glad to help you.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, please, if you can, I would be in your debt.
Of course. And your name would be?
My name is Etheb.
Okay, I said, let me look around and see if I can find it.
So you could go ahead and give me a luck check.
My current luck is 12, so that doesn't give me any bonuses or anything else. And I rolled a 1, so I'm very
Okay.
lucky.
Like almost like immediately, like within 10 minutes, like you find it, and you just kind of like lead back up to the lobby, and it's just like a penny on the ground. Like you just like happen to spot it like almost right away, and you bring it to her, and she just like wraps her arms around you and just she's like, thank you. And she's just like several kisses on the cheek, and she grabs that coin, and she's just like starts kissing that, and then she puts it in like her pocket on her costume, and she says, "Oh, please come see me after the show. I'd like, once I have some more time, I would like to be able to thank you proper."
Not a problem. Your thanks are enough, but I'll definitely come visit you after.
And while that happens, Jalo like comes to see you, and he says, "Oh, I'm starting to feel the jitters myself a bit." And he's just like kind of like he's pacing about wildly, and he says, I really hope that things can go well here. The crowd, I could tell. I've been out in Mummer's court, and I'm hearing what the people are saying, and people know the controversy surrounding this performance, and they're hoping that something crazy happens. I heard a number of them like suggesting that they hope that Duke comes here and is off with our heads, that they would love to see that. And I noticed that the last time that we were performing, that the crowd was getting very drunk and rowdy, and I just hope that you can keep things calm and under control. You know, sometimes there's unpredictable chaos is infectious.
Do you sell alcoholic beverages here, or do the crowd bring their own?
Oh, well, there's a number of wine vendors that will come out into the court, and food vendors and all of that good kind of thing.
Maybe we could convince the wine vendors to maybe water down their wine a little bit more than usual, and keep the people from getting too drunk.
Well, it could work, although if anybody finds out that they are doing that, it might also be a cause for panic. But I leave it to your judgment.
Well, the vendors might go along with that because it'll make them more profitable.
He just looks like really nervous about what you're proposing. He's like, "Oh, I don't want to hear this."
It was just a suggestion.
And he's just like, he basically tells you, I think the better course of action here is just to make sure that this performance goes on without a hitch. We've been getting really good crowd reactions these past few nights, and so I think as long as we can keep the crowd happy, things will go smoothly. And so this is basically where he introduces to you the fact that there's sort of the gamey part of where is the crowd at in terms of their enjoyment of the performance. And so anything that's disruptive to what's happening on the stage is going to be kind of like negative points. So if your work is if it's very clear that you're like, I don't know, performing security duties often in the aisle, like the crowd's going to be like, and they're going to be paying attention to whatever you guys are doing. And so he kind of impresses upon you that like please use your discretion, please try to fly under the radar best you can, so that the focus can be on their performance.
Oh yes, I will attempt to, in all circumstances, to be part of the crowd.
And Ruclef, at some point, like Goltu shows back up, and he's got like, it almost looks like some kind of like muscle suit has been stitched together out of some pillows, and he's got like a fake looking like breastplate on. Just so he's got like this real big kind of like puffy chest. He's like, "What do you think?"
Does it look terrible?
It looks awful. Yeah, like really hammy.
Yeah. So it's not very convincing. You need to make this look real. All right, your job, your character that you will play tonight is a wizened, experienced guardsman who doesn't have his weapons drawn. He just stands in the kind of the darkened corner, looking like nobody better get out of line, and he knows how to handle himself. That is the character I need you to play tonight.
Wow. Okay. 1 second. It goes back into the costumiers to rig up something else.
Okay. I shake my head.
And Mickey, you were just like kind of getting the lowdown on like how to collect the tickets and confirming that kind of job switch. So
I also took a little time off to go in and to the costumery to get a little slight, disguised look to myself.
yeah, so you're all like, I don't know, you all don like a wig. You all, like maybe some of you that don't have facial hair have glued on some kind of bear fur or something that they have backstage, like these little things that would just be hopefully enough to mask you.
Put a large brimmed hat on so it would kind of cover
yeah,
my eyes, stuff like that.
yeah. So okay, so the things that I have down is you've barred and locked the doors from the outside leading to 1-7, the backstage area. You have jammed the lock on the rusty padlock on the outer cellar doors. You put some caltrops in the cellar, and you put some up below the windows in the kind of rafter area. You've all got some kind of a slight disguise on of some sort. Alef has gotten to know some of the troupe, and so there is a piece like that going on. Alef, there's a couple of guys that are actors, it would seem. They're kind of getting, you see them passing a bottle between the two of them. Like they're pre-gaming a bit. And they're just in like the backstage area. Two male actors. And you kind of get the sense that they are they're maybe trying to keep it like just between the two of them, that bottle, like that they don't want to share it with anybody.
Yeah, Alef would just approach and says, that is good, right?
Whoa. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Can I have a glass?
And they both look at each other and they say, well, it's only one bottle.
Yeah. That's why I'm keeping my voice low.
Okay. You won't tell anybody else?
Zip. Just glass for me.
I don't have a glass, but you could have a pull, I guess. He like hands you the bottle.
Yeah. And Alef will clumsily let the battle drop on the ground.
And they both are like, "What the fuck, dude?"
I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. Guys, I'll go get you. Where did you get this one? I'll go get another one for you.
Some guy gave it to us.
Oh, who?
Oh, what was his name? And they both like kind of look at each other and they say, I don't remember what his name was, but a guy, like he said he was a big fan of the performance. He's a big fan of us. He gave us that. He purchased us a nice meal earlier.
You guys feeling okay?
Feeling good. I mean, not being honest, I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay, no, I just want you to
I mean,
be
a little pissed
aware.
off because he just dropped our wine, but
I know.
what the hell,
guys,
dude?
just be on the lookout. You never know. People might be acting nice to you, but in reality have very nefarious intentions.
Case in point. Like, money, you gonna pay for that?
Yes, absolutely. Come see me after the show, okay? And I'll pay you back.
Yeah. If I had a Rilk for every time I heard that, they just like are like, whatever, dude.
Alef will immediately rush to Wes or Mickey or whoever is closer of the party and just pass that on. That there is evidence that someone is trying to get people happy, or perhaps I don't know, even poison food or drink or something. So be on the lookout for that as well.
All right. Yeah, if I'm back there, I'll just keep walking around and like looking at people. I'm not going to talk to a lot of people, but I'll just kind of like just eye them up and not talk at all, but just keep an eye on them.
Sounds good. Yeah, I think so. I guess the next question then will be, as people are starting to fill into the lobby, where are folks gonna be?
Well, I am in the lobby, so
Yeah, you are, but I need to know where the
Yeah.
other people are.
Guys, I'll be wherever you want me. Just be aware that I'm not good at anything. So just put me in a spot where I can act like, come get reinforcement, basically.
Probably put you in the lobby right away, Alef.
Okay.
Then Ruclef, either me or you would be, one of us has got to be in the back and probably the other one in the lobby until people start filtering in.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that be in the lobby, keeping an eye on who's coming in, and as people start filling in, I'll move kind of to the pit area and be up in this side, keeping an eye on everything.
Okay.
And I think maybe the best place for the understudy guy is maybe up in that catwalk. Keeping an eye on those two things, and basically just tell him that if he sees anybody come in through that, literally just scream at the top of his lungs.
Yeah. So I think
or drop something, I mean, give him a little something that would be noticed by us, but maybe not necessarily the entire crowd or something.
So that someone will be on the stage too, right?
I think I'm going to be in the back of the stage and kind of like keep moving around. I'll go up to the catwalk, wander the back of the stage, keep an eye on you guys, and then Mickey, if you want, because you need your opportunity as well, if you want to be up on that balcony in the lobby area with you and Alef.
Yeah, after everyone's in and we've collected all the tickets, I'm gonna be moving up the stairs there from the lobby and keep an eye on crowd in the upper level.
So
Yeah,
I've got.
I would not be the most nimble guy to be going up and down ladders and stuff. I mean, so keeping me kind of on that main floor, I think, would be best.
Yeah.
So I've got Mickey is in the lobby collecting tickets. Alef is just generally in the lobby mingling with people, keeping an eye out. Ruclef, generally, you'll be in the kind of the pit area, kind of keeping an eye out in the general audience area. Wes is kind of going to be patrolling from backstage, maybe heading up to the fly loft area and back down and kind of doing that round. And then you've got Ghoul 2 will just be permanently up in the catwalk, and we'll say, I don't know, maybe he'll drop like a bag of sand or something to be a sign if he sees something. And I would say, in general, from the flyloft area, he can't see the audience or the crowd. He really can he's got a view of the stage down below, and then, the thing you're concerned about, I think, is the windows. So, all right. Do we feel ready to kind of progress this?
The only thing I will say is, if you guys agree, I'll have 3 signs that we all agree in advance, so that in case there is noise or anything, that we know, like, one sign for trouble, one sign for go look up, at least these 2. And I don't know if you can think anything else. Just make sure that on a whim, we can communicate fast, on a presence of danger or the need to regroup.
I think that's a good idea.
So let's say, if someone does the 1 is trouble, and 2 is, go look something, and then you point in that direction at the very least.
Okay.
So with that, the sun begins to descend behind the towers and tenements of Lankhmar, and Mummer's Court starts filling up with people of all walks of life, from the lowliest of low to men and women who maybe are more fortunate, although many of them have cloaks and hoods drawn over their faces such that they don't really want to be seen maybe mingling with the underclass. But this is such a talked about performance that a lot of them would love to see some humor at Lord Borvat's expense. And so lots of people that you can see out buying things from the vendors, turkey legs, big flagons of wine or ale, or wine skins, or all sorts of things. People are starting to fill in to the lobby area. And I think I would say maybe I'll let both Mickey and Alef do an intelligence check.
I believe we lose our fleeting lucks, guys.
Oh no.
I rolled 2 dice tonight. Both were 1s, but in one case was good. The second one, not so much.
I rolled a 1 as well.
Wow.
Okay, so you double
Holy
lost
mackerel.
your fleeting luck. So, maybe there's just like, maybe you all just like had no idea about how fast people were going to come into the lobby area, but you're overwhelmed. Like, you're just like totally overwhelmed by how raucous it gets. Like, there are people that are already like super drunk coming in here, and everyone's talking at the top of their lungs, and you're just thinking, like, how the hell are we gonna get these people seated and calmed down before this performance gets started? And so, like,
Where were the vendors located? Were they in the lobby area?
no, the vendors would be out on the street.
Oh, on the street. Okay.
Yep. So people buy their stuff out there, then they come into the theater. There's no food or drink is sold within the theater. And so you're trying to keep an eye out for Lord Starve, and you didn't see him. So you
I
feel
was kind of Lord Borvat wouldn't come to this thing, would he? Because apparently he's already aware of it and doesn't want to be humiliated. So I'm assuming that he wouldn't come, even if he wants to stop this.
you don't notice that he is present. You would remember him because you've seen him before. Seems unlikely that him being there would be very disruptive because like everybody would recognize that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so eventually like people start to kind of flood in. Ruclef, as people are flooding in and starting to move into like kind of the general seating there, those benches towards the back, you notice that there is sorry, let me redirect your attention. Not back there. Actually up on the balcony. You notice that there seems to be some kind of argument happening up there between a woman wearing fine silk and a kind of blue gown. She's got like a silk, like a fan that she is currently using. She's getting real flush and red in the cheeks as she is arguing with this kind of barrel-chested man who's got kind of slicked back, greased back, like ponytail. He's got kind of tan, ruddy skin. They look like they are of very different social classes. And the woman looks like she's got some kind of like bodyguard with her that she seems to be like kind of pointing at, and then she's just like wagging her finger kind of in an accusatory way at this other gentleman.
All right. I will kind of quickly move towards like this area and just holler up more or less, I don't want to have to come up there, point at the guy. He looks lower class, right? Or is he the upper class guy?
Yeah, he looks like, I don't know, he just kind of gives you like the feeling of somebody who's kind of like a manual laborer of some kind, probably.
All right. I'll point at him and kind of give him
Sounds
finger
good.
to come down here and talk to me.
Why don't you do a personality check? Because part of the issue here is it's so raucous and loud currently that
Okay.
Personality check will be can you get their attention?
Right. Okay. That is a 16 on the die, and it is, what is my personality? My personality is a 5, so that's what, -2? -2, so 14.
Okay. You get the sense that she like they both look down at you, and she like just puts up a finger as if to say hush to you as she continues to like carry on some argument that you can't really understand from your position where you're at. So like they understand you and hear you, but she just does like the shush sign to you.
Oh, okay. Do I see any of my other companions?
From where you currently are, no, down in the pit.
Crap. All right. I will run up to the lobby area and do a quick bolt up the stair to whichever side she was on, because nobody tells me to shush.
So you get up there, and as soon as you arrive, she's just like, finally, we will have this this dealt with once and for all. Good sir, eject this man from my seat at once. And the man just looks at you and he says, now hold up here. I got these tickets for me and my family. He kind of points back, you know, it looks like he's there with his wife. I was gifted these tickets by a man that I did some smithing for, and I'll have you know I'm not a fraud. I'm not trying to impersonate no one, but these are the tickets that he gave me.
I hold my hand down. Show me the tickets. You, lady, too.
And they both provide you with their tickets. And you can see that, like, what she has is for, like, down below. Like, it's for, like, one of the bench seats. There's no seat, like, number or anything on it.
It's a general admission.
It's a general admission ticket. Yeah, exactly.
All right. I say, sir, I'm sorry. And I grab the woman's arm and I say, I'll escort you to your seat. You'll get there safely. You're down below.
And she's as you like grab her arm or whatever, she's just is like, what? Oh, I've never. Do you know who I am? I have connections.
I go like this to her.
And then she just like looks back at like her bodyguard, who like he kind of like steps forward, just like, and kind of goes like eye to eye with you. And you can see he's like armed, like he's got a sword at his side, and he's wearing like a chain shirt.
I say, sir and ma'am, there are two ways for you to reach your seats at the bottom. Through that doorway and down the stairs, or over the balcony. Your choice.
Make another personality check.
Come on. Luck be with me. Oh, 15, so 13.
13. Okay. He just says, it ain't gonna go that way. This is her seat. And the blacksmith is just like kind of like backpedaling a bit, kind of like he says, if there's another seat for us, we'll gladly take it.
No, this is a respectable establishment. And there are people that aren't respecting the rules. And I go right at his neck and try to take him to the ground.
All right. Give me a strength check.
A strength check. Gosh. It's always got to be a bouncer. It's a 16 again. So that's 18.
So you go and like you like choke slam him to the ground and like you pin him there. The noble lady is just like, no, and she's like smacking at your back kind of feebly or whatever. Yeah, but you got him held. And he's like struggling against you. You've got him restrained, and then you just hear, "Bravo! Is that Ruclef I see down there?" And you hear the voice of Snarf Keistu Mercies. And you can see he's there with his own like bodyguard, just like 2 rows back or 3 rows back, and he's just like, "Oh, this is a fantastic pre-show, just wonderful. They got you running security, do they? Oh, times must be tough. You know, my offer is still good. You and your friends could come work for me and make big time, but you know, if you want to be How much are they paying you?
This is not the time for negotiating
No,
that,
no, absolutely
Lord. I've got to escort this riffraff.
not. The whole time, like you're like slamming his head down, like having this conversation with him.
I say, I keep a hold of the guy, help him to his feet, and I say, "Milady, follow me." And I, got his arm twisted up back behind him or whatever, and bring him up to the top to take him down the stairs.
So you start to escort him out, and the whole time she's just like, I know such and such and such and such, and they're gonna hear about this, and blah 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 blah. Just making like all sorts of like empty threats, right. And you eject them from the theater.
Okay.
All
right.
So,
Phew.
However,
Mickey sees this when you're coming down and gives him the thumbs up.
Before I go back in the pit, coming down or whatever, I want to eye to see where Mickey and Alef are out in the lobby. And whichever one I can get to first, I say, Lord Snarv recognized me. And I suppose in that scuffle, I put my fake beard back up on my face or whatever.
Yeah.
That half came down. And I, whichever one I tell, I say let the other one know.
Yeah,
but
probably
he knows we're here.
Alef would
or at least
probably
I am.
Alef would probably be the one that would be free to talk to, since Mickey's still performing his kind of unofficial job here tonight. And another thing I would say is you did side against the nobility in the nobility section, and so the crowd will go from being pleased to start things off to neutral. Only Lord Snarv was entertained by that, as he thumbs his nose at the nobility all the time. But the rest of the folks up there are going to be not so happy they're sharing that spot with that common blacksmith. But yeah, then you join up with Alef and have a short little interaction here about, yes, Lord Snarv is in the building.
Dude. And then I'll go back by the pit.
Sounds good. Wes, as you're kind of mulling around backstage, you can feel the tension. Like the actors are talking about how this is this show sold out almost immediately, and there's so many people. Like the nerves are on for all of them, but they pretty soon the house lights slowly dim, and the dung sweep players begin extinguishing all the lamps and the torches kind of out in the general area and get ready to begin. The audience starts to cheer in anticipation, whistling expectantly at what they're about to see. The shouts rise above the clamor and the sound of stamping feet on the floorboards that fills the building with noise. Backstage, the cast exchanges looks mixed with excitement and trepidation. There is the sound of creaking pulleys as the curtain rises and the first players step onto the stage. The show has begun. And over the course of the next maybe 30 minutes or so, no issues with anything happening, and you can see this is a show that is full of toilet humor and just like appealing to like the lowest common denominator, but like it's just roaring laughter, and you can just see like it's just this caricature of Lord Borvat just like as this like paunchy, overweight, his ass crack is hanging out the entire time. Like they just make him out to be like the biggest buffoon possible. Lots of fart jokes, like that kind of thing. And the crowd's roaring with laughter as the second act of the play gets off to a rousing start. And I guess as the play is ongoing here, where are people at? Some of you were in the lobby. Would you still be out in the lobby? Anyone want to move where they are?
Well, I'd be moved up the stairs from the lobby. There were 2 ticket holders, and now that the crowd has basically arrived, I can leave the other ticket holder for any stragglers, and I can move up the stairs and keep an eye on the balcony area.
Okay, so you're going up to the upper balcony area.
Yeah.
Okay. How about Alef?
Alef would basically move at the main central hallway leading into the pit, but staying kind of there so that he has his back at the door at the lobby and looking inside, just trying to look both ways for potential sign of trouble.
So are you thinking like kind of back here, like behind the seating area, and like just like pretty close to the lobby? Okay.
Yeah.
And how about Ruclef? Kind of sticking with like interspersed in the pit area, or?
Yeah, I'll kind of make a circuit up around like 1-7, right? Kind of going from side to side. So there would be, 10 seconds or whatever where I would go in one side and then come out the other,
Sounds good. It probably takes you a bit to kind of like, it's so packed and with like people that you kind of have to like you're at like a concert or something. You have to kind of push through the crowd and such. But yeah, you could kind of continue to do that.
Okay.
There are people that kind of come and go, from outside to inside, so it's not too weird that you're doing that.
Okay.
And then, Wes, are you kind of continuing to do the same type of thing?
Well, I think now that the first session's over and stuff, and everyone, I can see the top. I could see the stage in the catwalk area, but not the crowd, right?
You're right.
Yeah, I guess I'd kind of be up and down quite a bit. I guess I would increase my intervals to maybe like every 5 minutes going up and down the catwalk and walking backstage here. Just because I'd like to see if they have any hand signals or anything like that. So
sounds good. So Alef, at some point, while you're watching the play unfold and kind of hanging back on the ground level, you notice that it seems like there's some people that have moved into the lobby and are like closing the doors behind them and like exasperated, like they look fearful and they're like breathing heavily, and like some of them are like leaning up against the doors like they're expecting something to try to come through.
Then I'll come closer and ask them what's going on.
And they're just like, it's the Rat Stranglers, a local gang. They're vandalizing the carts and the buildings outside. A number of them have torches lit, and I saw them. Some of them are actively like dumping oil on some of the carts and stalls.
I will rush towards the pit and I'll have my one up for everybody to see.
Do I see the signal?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And one was trouble, right?
would all of us see it?
I think at the moment probably just Ruclef. I guess Mickey, you're upstairs, so you wouldn't see it because you're up in the balcony.
I couldn't see the pit from the balcony area.
Al, if you're like back, right? Like you're signaling kind of in that spot that would be your blind spot because you're up in the balcony. So you can't see Alef below you.
Yeah.
I thought he was going down to the pit.
If he signals me, I'll signal Mickey.
Okay, yeah. So then, Mickey, you'd be able to see Ruclef because Ruclef is in the pit.
Okay.
And I will make my way up to the place where Alef is.
Sounds good. So we're gonna kind of fast track it that you all kind of gather up in the lobby and meet up with Alef.
Hey, what's going on?
I'll move down to the lobby.
What is going on? Where's the trouble?
Yeah, there's trouble. There are raiders outside, setting fire to the stores, like making a ruckus outside. The vendors are trying to seek refuge inside.
Is this a distraction, possibly?
Why don't we have that actor stay inside and come alert us if anything happens in here?
Maybe too late by the time he comes and gets us.
Yeah, at this point, you probably can see from like those barred windows that are kind of up higher, like an orange glow. You could probably hear screaming and commotion.
Well, let's take care of the problem out there, huh?
Does the city itself have any security that would come and deal with
I mean, they're not
that disturbance out in the streets?
maybe, but they're clearly not under control right now.
Right.
Are we in any danger of the the theater being burnt down? Otherwise, I think we could just make sure that they don't barge their way inside. I don't know how many. Can we see from the doors how many there are out there? I mean, is there a large group?
You want to
of them?
open the doors?
Yeah.
Okay. So
just a peek to
all right.
We don't hear any banging on the door.
So probably, I'm going to say like a couple minutes have passed since Alef gave the signal and you all have gathered up. No one's springing to action, so I'm guessing there's a little bit of deliberation from the group about what to do. So like some time has passed. You have to call off some of the people to like get away from the door, so you can creak it open just a bit. And what you see is just like gang violence, basically. There's like six. There's six individuals out there, and they are just a lot of kind of hulking bearded men. A number of them are wearing what look like things made of like rat pelts, and one of them in particular has kind of like this like hood on his cloak that looks like it's kind of designed to look like a rat hood over his head. And they all have like clubs and cudgels, and like some of them are kind of beating some store vendor to death, like just bludgeoning him in the head. Others are like there's like three of them that are pushing over some of the carts, spilling all of its contents out onto the ground, and you can see another one has a torch ready, and it looks like is getting ready to like kind of torch down one of the nearby buildings.
All right, this is the start, gentlemen. I say we go out, take care of these, and then whatever other threat comes, we will extinguish at that point in time.
That's the call. That's the call. And I will move through the door to go start jumping on these guys.
Sounds
I'll try to
good.
sneak out first. I'd like to sneak in the shadows if I could, if there's some shadows and stuff.
Sure. Let's have everybody roll initiative first.
I got a total of 6.
12.
9.
21. That's with a natural 20.
What did Alef have?
9.
9. Okay. So we're going to have Wes. We're going to have Mickey. We're going to have Alef. We're going to have the gang members go, and then Ruclef. So Wes, you're up first. You wanted to do like a hide and shadows check. So go ahead and give me that.
An 11?
I'll say given the conditions of what's happening, it's probably pretty easy to go unnoticed in the chaos. So, yeah, clear 10.
Yeah, and I'll just kind of make my way to whichever one's like a straggler, trying to stay like behind crates or something, or if I can get behind one of the vendor carts or something
Okay.
without being seen.
We'll say that you're kind of nearby, maybe the guy with the torch. It looks like maybe he's waiting for his buddy who's like currently like pouring oil, like kind of
Okay.
He's like splashing oil like on the front of this building, and he's just waiting for it to be properly coated so that he can make sure that his attempt at arson here works.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to attempt a backstab if I can.
Yeah. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay. Oh, it's a good one. 17 plus 5 plus 6, so 23.
All right, that will hit. And so since it's a backstab, you get to treat it as a crit, so you can roll on your crit table.
I'm trying to see where I had that written down again. So a 1d12 and crit table 2. So I got a 6.
And do you have a luck modifier?
I do, +1.
So 7.
Seven.
Strike to chest, grazes vital organ, inflict an additional 3d4 damage with this strike.
Okay. Roll that quick. And then the 1d10, right?
That's a good one.
Yes.
So 6, 8, 10, 3, 13, and 1. So 14 points of damage.
So you like absolutely like just go unnoticed, stab this guy in the back and cut him down, and he just falls. His torch goes out, like hits like a puddle in the ground there.
Okay.
So 1 down, 5 to go. The leader, the one that has that rat-faced hood, kind of notices that and then kind of points out, "Hey, boys, we got trouble." And then they all like kind of like focus their attention towards where you guys are opening the doors and coming out. Next up, we got Mickey.
Well, Mickey is going to follow Wes's example and get into the crowd and try to disappear.
All right,
hide in shadows type thing.
You can do a hide in shadows. I'm going to say yours is a 14, just because they're alerted.
Okay, that's 24.
All right, you very easily get behind. Who do you want to get behind?
I'm going to take a shot at the leader, see if I can do some damage on him by backstabbing.
Sounds good. Go ahead. What are you attacking with?
Dagger.
So you get over right behind him.
Ooh, I just rolled a 20.
Okay, so you get a 20. So I'll give a point of fleeting luck into the pool here for that.
That's a natural 20. So
you crit. You hit. There's no doubt that you hit. So you can roll on your crit table.
I roll a d12 for that.
Sounds like that's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, I rolled a 12.
12. Okay. Is there any luck modifier that you have?
Yeah. 2. So +2.
+2, so you got 14. So strike to the head. Foe must make a fortitude save or fall unconscious. I rolled a 10. Ooh, he just barely clears it. And then you can roll your D10.
D10. Okay. I only rolled a 2.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Any strength mod?
No.
Okay.
We have our
actually,
things left.
Huh?
We have
actually,
our.
I have a -1 on my strength.
What was that, Dave?
We have our bond, so you get to add your luck modifier as your damage die.
Oh. So what do you got for luck?
+2.
Okay. So +2, so 2 + 2 is 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Huh. He didn't have hit points listed, so I had to roll his hit die. And I just rolled 2 1s. So he goes down.
Ouch.
And as you stab him, he goes down. You can see the gang like kind of all takes notice of that. And you just see they kind of like stop in their tracks for just a second, like trying to figure out like, okay, now what's the plan? And
I claim his leadership.
we'll move it on over to Alef.
Alef will start, running and trying to attract someone following him. It has no hope of actually fighting them. So it will just try to drag at least one behind him and go for one of the sides. With no intention to engage, just go for it.
Sounds good. Becomes their turn. Basically, they all, like, one of them is just like, run! Get out of here! And then they just, like, all scatter. Like, they're all going to, like, the four winds. Like, they're all choosing a different alley just to, like, hightail it out of there. Ruclef, on your turn, anything that you want to do?
They are all skedaddling.
Yeah. Like at this point, they're all, like, they've just all tucked into alleys. So you'd have to, like, chase after them and go into an alley to pursue.
Yeah, no. I'll at this point I'll just kind of stand defensively, maybe move 10-15 feet out, kind of following Alef a little bit until I'm sure that those people are gone, and I'll give a whistle to get Alef's attention to have him come back.
Sounds good. Why don't you give me a luck check?
It's a 15 on the die, so 17.
See, is 15 is under your luck?
Oh yeah, 15 is just under my luck. My luck is 16. If I don't add anything to that, it's just a d20 against luck.
You feel like even though you've taken care of these guys, your nose is picking up the scent of like burning oil.
Like from the theater?
Yeah, maybe. Like it's you kind of turn around and like you're really not sure where it exactly it is coming from, but you're looking around and you don't see any like they never successfully started that building on fire.
But I smell burning oil. All right, I'll holler out.
Your nose is sort of leading you to think maybe it's coming from like the nearby alleyway.
Then I'll book that direction. Yeah.
So you all see Ruclef kind of go to like on the map here. I'll move the token, I guess, down. Sorry, folks that are watching. I haven't been doing like a great job paying attention to the map here on OBS, so you can always use the little Navi to say, "Hey, move the map so we can see." I'm only kind of loosely using this anyway, but you all see Ruclef kind of goes over to this alleyway over here. Are all of you following, or any of you going back into the theater?
I would say let's follow him, but one of us should go inside just to make sure.
Dave, I think you're muted.
Yes, I am. Thank you. Yeah, Wes will volunteer, and he'll go back inside. He'll go to the pit and make his rounds.
All right, I'll go down the alley then too.
Okay, so Wes is going down to the pit. The rest of you are following through the alley here. As you're making your way down the alley, up ahead, you can see that those doors that lead down into the cellar are open. They look like the chain is laying broken on its side. Those spikes look like they've been removed or taken out. And you can kind of see like a little bit of black smoke coming from the cellar. And as you're coming upon this, you see three individuals, three men just kind of in kind of raggedy clothing, are like climbing up out of the cellar. And I think I'll just keep us in the same kind of initiative round, I guess. Wes, I would say, why don't you give me a luck check as well?
Oh, a 10.
Okay. So you're not really noticing anything on the inside. But those of you that are out in the alley, you definitely see these three coming up. Mickey, anything that you wish to do?
Do they see us as they're coming out?
Yeah, they see you and they all kind of like, oh shit, and like it looks like they're probably about to peel out.
Is this a dead end alley? I mean, are they
No,
trapped or
not.
Does it go all the way through?
No, they're not trapped.
Okay. Well, then I'll rush forward and attack one of them.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
It's only 6.
Okay, that one will miss. Alef.
Alef would just rush down, just avoid the people, the folks. There's no hope of engaging in any brawl with them. Just go down to assess what's burning and what you can do to stop it.
So the fire, as you go down there, right? It looks like they have built up some kindling right at the base of each of those wooden support beams. And it's like the fire is beginning to like spread up the support beam. It looks like it probably hasn't been active for super long, but all 4 of the support beams are on fire.
So up to you what I can do or not, but first gut reaction will be just to go there and kick with his boots to spread as possible the kindling, just to slow down the process while we figure out what to do next.
Sounds good. Why don't you give me, let's say, an agility check?
Agility is my forte. I rolled an 11, but with my -1 goes to a 10.
Okay. 10 is what you needed. So you go and you're like kind of kicking and like dispersing like the fuel that started the fire. And you could probably use something that you're carrying maybe to kind of snuff out like the rest of the fire on the one pillar. So you got one of them taken care of. Next up is the 3 arsonists here. And with Mickey having rushed up and attacked them, they're going to try to retaliate. So one of them, they've got short swords they pull out, and they're going to make some attacks. The first one takes a swing at you and does so with a 13 to hit.
Miss.
All right, second one attacks and misses. The third one attacks and misses. So they're all just kind of clumsily swinging at you, and then they start to move away. Like they're starting to move away, and they try to run around the corner here. Next up would be Ruclef.
Okay. With them moving, I'm going to, as I am running up, and I'm going to continue on past, but I'm going to pull one of my hand axes off and throw it at the trailing guy, attempting to hamstring him.
Sounds good.
That is a nat 20, sir.
All right. Roll on. Was it crit table 3, probably?
I roll, yes, crit table 3, a D14, which I don't think I could probably do that in.
If you want, you could just roll a d20 and re-roll anything that's like higher than a 14.
Let's see. 7, looks like.
And you've got +2 from luck.
+2 from luck.
All right. I think this is exactly what you were looking for. Strike to leg, splinters femur, inflict an additional 2d6 damage. They lose 10 feet of movement until healed.
2d6. Well, that's only an extra 4. But it was. Oops, I rolled the wrong damage die. So 5. So 9, 12, 16 points.
16 points. So, like, your hand axe just, like, shatters his leg, and it just goes, like, kind of wobbly, and he just face plants. And he's, like, kind of crying out, screaming in agony for, like, a few seconds until he just passes out from the pain.
All right. Continue running as far as I can, pulling the other hand axe out.
Wes, why don't you give me an intelligence check this time?
Can I use fleeting luck?
Sure. Yeah, there's one in there, so you can give it a +1. Or,
Oh, I don't get to roll it.
No, you get to roll it. Sorry, I forgot.
Okay. So an 11?
11. Okay. You notice just a hint of smoke is coming from those trapdoors. It's pretty faint. It doesn't look like anybody in the audience has noticed it yet, but it's visible. It's like just becoming pretty apparent. So at the moment, maybe people in the crowd are just a little drunk. They don't know if it's some kind of special effect or something, but like you've got a pretty good idea of what's going on.
Okay, yeah, I'll rush up the stage and start going down to the cellar, see what's going on.
Sounds good. I think on this round, we'll say that you can get to like the top of the stairs, basically, to
Sure.
go down.
Yeah. Okay.
Next up would be Mickey. What would you like to do?
Mickey runs down into the cellar, and is it apparent that we're not going to be able to put this fire out?
I mean, I wouldn't say that.
Well, I was okay then. If he thinks that there's going to be a chance, he'll try and put some of the fire out as well, knock away the fuel and try to smother the fire as best he can.
Okay, give me an agility check.
Ooh, nat 20.
All right. So you do successfully put out another one of the flames or fires. So there's just two pillars left that are going up. Goes Wes, Mickey, Alef. You're already down in the cellar. You see you got some backup.
Yeah, I guess I'll try to move to the next one, see if I can put that one off too.
Sure. Another agility check.
Net 20.
All right, another one goes out. The gang, the arsonists just flee around the corner. They're like totally out of sight. They just leave the buddy like laying there in the street. And then Ruclef.
All right. Once again, I am going to throw this one at the guy who is leading. Doing my mighty deeds, hoping to take him down and hopefully trip the other guy. But,
all right. You just have to move to like kind of follow them around the corner,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, I am running. There is a one on the feet die. But it's a 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay, so 8 points.
And that one like lands in his middle of his back and he drops forward too. Now there's just the one guy that's running.
Okay.
All right.
I just holler at him, "Stop running!"
So you guys have done pretty well here. With the top of this next round, that one final support beam is totally up in flame, and so it's just going to be a little bit more difficult to put this one out. It's not doable, but it's going to take at least 2 people on the thing, and the DC is now more difficult. So, with that said, Wes, you're at the top of the stairs. You're looking down, and you can see like there's like an orange glow down in the cellar. And as you run down there, you can see that your comrades are doing a pretty good job putting out most of the pillars, but there's like this one that looks like it's in pretty rough spot.
Okay.
So if you want to put it out, you will have to just say I'm going to start doing that, and then we just need a second person to like jump in with you to trigger the roll.
Okay. Yep. I'll start trying to put it out.
I'll
whether I have a
jump in and
cloak.
help.
Yeah, you're up next, Mickey. Between Wes and Mickey, who's got the better agility?
I have a 14.
I have an 18.
Ooh, there we go.
Okay, so Mickey, why don't you do the roll?
Okay, I rolled 19 plus 3, 22.
Okay, so you successfully put out the fire. And you have done so before anybody really noticed to the point of panic. You know, if it gets too big, then the crowd potentially could have fled the hall, and Duke Borvat's plot would have succeeded. No one would have really seen the play. So, nicely done. You basically put this out right at the point where a 20-minute intermission is called to allow the audience to get some food, drink, and such. There's obviously going to be some, observation of some of the wreckage, some of the damage outside, but it isn't enough to dissuade the crowd from seeing the rest of the performance.
Is there any way we can, would he have any of his carpenters left that we could board up that cellar door again? Could we have them work on it while we guard them or something during the intermission?
Yeah, they could kind of like makeshift, like try to board it up a little bit.
Okay.
It won't provide a lot of protection, but it's more than nothing.
Just re-put the spikes back in. I mean, just make it difficult again.
Yeah. And so basically, like you doing that and putting that stuff in, it does buy you a few rounds. This is all based on rounds. So like had you not done that, the fire would have been worse when you came upon it. So don't think that it didn't have an effect. It definitely helped. So
is there still the guy I'm chasing?
Yeah, there's still the guy you're chasing. You wanted to probably take him out.
Yeah, I don't know if I can throw my warhammer, or as I pass the guy that I put it in his back, yank out my hand axe and we'll go for him too. Try and hit him in the arm. I mean, I want to talk to at least one of these. We need one of these guys alive.
Go ahead and make. Yeah, you can retrieve your hand axe or whatever, and like try to make a throw
last
against
ditch
him.
Throw. All right. It's an 11. It is a 4 on my feet. My mighty deeds of arms. That was a 4 I rolled, but it's a 15 to hit.
15 to hit. And basically your mighty deed that you want to accomplish is just to knock him out versus...
Yeah, or hit him in the arm. something that's going to put him down in all likelihood, but not kill him, I guess. So maybe, leg, calf. I mean, something like that. That's going to keep him from getting away, but not be the death of him.
Your attack roll was what? A 15?
15.
15. Okay.
Pardon me. I guess I add my feet.
Yeah, the deed die.
The deed die. So it would be 11, 15, 19 to hit on that.
All right. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have him do a fortitude save against that number. And if he fails it, then this happens.
Okay.
And I rolled a 5, so there's no way.
Okay.
So, describe to me like how he goes down. Or how it goes up.
Pretty much, rather than continuing to go over like I did, where I was just wrecking these guys, I probably would come more of a sidearm throw with that thing and have it go and sink into the guy's calf to have him tumble. So it is pretty much a calf shot to keep him from being able to run, and he just rolls and tumbles.
That's what happens. Your axe is lodged firmly in his calf, and he falls, just unable, to really run. And he's just like, ah! It's like clenching at it. And And he's still conscious, unlike the other two.
I will continue running up to him and grab him and say, I'm going to take you inside and you're going to tell us everything. Got it?
He says, absolutely, just don't kill me. Do you have a bit of wine or something?
No, you've got enough wine. And I pretty much just fireman's carry, just grab him, throw him up over my
Can you
shoulder.
take the axe out at least?
I pull the axe out.
Oh God! I wish I had said that.
Put it back in its little strap at my side and carry him down the steps.
Sounds good. So I think like the group is basically going to reassemble here during the intermission, just to kind of compare notes. I think maybe Jalo even will have some words with you about how things are going and things like that.
I will go down into the cellar, not like carrying this bloody guy through the front door.
Sure,
right?
yeah, makes sense. So I'm a little conflicted because typically we'd still have more playtime, but this is probably the right point in the adventure to push pause, just because otherwise we'll be pushing pause at like a really like a really critical point in the adventure. So I think we could talk about any like kind of small things that you guys want to do, but maybe we'll be ending the session early just for the pacing's sake. But I guess in summary, so far, I would say that the crowd mood is gonna go up a tick, just because the show is going off pretty well. Maybe it'll be negated though about like the situation outside with the food carts and everything. You didn't act super decisively there, so I think maybe there's going to be a little bit of like longer lines for wine and such, and so maybe that's negates it. So, but in general, people are enjoying the show, and there haven't been too many major problems that have turned it, super negative. And definitely in this second half, you'll have maybe some direct opportunities to get the crowd enjoying themselves more. So you've got a guy that you could possibly interrogate here. You've got a guy up in the catwalk. Haven't heard anything from him so far, so it doesn't seem like anybody slipped in through the roof or anything like that. And you got Snarv is here, and he's recognized at least one of you. But of course, he does not know that you wish to kill him. He just was throwing it out there to Ruclef, like, "Hey, let's do some business." So I don't know, anything from you guys, any things that you would like to review or talk through or anything like that?
I'll let you guys interrogate this guy. I'll bring the other dead bodies down here rather than leave them in the streets. We'll just pile them up in the corner.
Yeah, I think
pillars.
Yeah.
I think what we really need to find out is to prepare ourselves as if they have more reinforcements that they might try again after intermission there.
So I could probably just summarize what you'll get out of this guy. Seems like he's motivated to talk because he's fearful of you. He thinks you might kill him. So he would tell you that he's a member of that gang. They're a street gang from one of the nearby neighborhoods. They're known as the Rat Stranglers, and that their boss was approached by a member of the a man that calls himself Captain Dimon. And Captain Dimon is a character in this play who is basically Duke Hogfat's head of security, head of his house guard. And he's also the man that beat that cart vendor to death in the street. So he would say that they were hired by Captain Dimon to cause a disruption here during the first act of the play.
And Captain Dimon was who?
The Duke's head of security, basically.
Hogfat,
Mhm.
right?
Yes. And he
and so this captain had plenty of money to hire your gang.
he paid us a decent wage for the job.
Mickey's going to speculate whether a captain would have that much cash to hire a gang like this. That the money might have had to have come from someone who was much more well off. Captain makes a decent living, but not enough to go around hiring large gangs of individuals like this.
Do you know what he looked like?
He would tell you that he would say yes. That Duke Dimon is I was just checking to see if they did have like a physical description of him, so I don't contradict it. Okay, we'll just say that yeah, he's kind of a gruff looking man. We kind of give you just a general description of someone that's just got kind of a sullen, kind of very heavy forehead, just stern gaze, steely gaze. Got very poor dental hygiene, just like very crooked teeth, like banged up nails in his mouth.
Okay.
I'd ask him if Captain Dimond had talked about hiring anyone else as well.
He says, I don't know the particulars about what my boss worked out with him or what they discussed. All I know is we each got 10 gold rilks for the job.
Mickey's gonna go outside in the alley and make sure he gets that money from those dead bodies out there.
Yeah, well, they're in a pile in the corner.
Yeah, they're on the.
Yeah.
We're gonna tie him to the. Let's tie him to the pillars so the next group that comes in.
Yeah, and they don't have this money. It wasn't like on their bodies.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Oh,
So
But it gives you
not even the leader.
No, he didn't take the coin purse with him to do the job.
So,
That's smart.
so how much do you value your life? How much would you like to live?
What's the most I can say? Is it a number? Is it? Tell me. What do I have to do?
Well, you're going to be a spy for us now within your gang. And if you're not, I'll slit your throat, I'll slit your wife's throat, and I'll slit your child's throat.
If I had those things, I wouldn't want them slit. But mine, for sure, I would like to keep intact.
So you work for us now.
I
You
work for
understand
you.
that? You
Absolutely.
give information to me. You got it?
Yeah, of course.
And if you double cross me, I'll destroy everything you love.
Of course. What do you want to know about the rat stranglers?
I just want information of what they're doing. And when they're doing it.
Okay. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of executive decisions being made anytime soon.
Well, then you work your way out.
Okay.
You
I don't
you
even
got
know if
away
they
from
are
us.
rat stranglers anymore.
But whatever.
I might have
You're
to
not
join a
making
different
this-
gang.
You're not making this good for you. Your value is going down.
Oh, I thought you like, killed him.
And he made me run. I don't like running.
Sorry. Yes, whatever I can tell you, I will do so.
Weren't there some from the first initial attacks that got away? And then we encountered the 3 that were down in the cellar. I didn't think those were the ones that ran away initially.
He's just like, I don't know if you know how gangs work.
We killed your leader. Yes, someone else will take control.
Well,
Or you'll go to a different one, right? You need work.
I
Do you
need
not
work. I need work.
Well, how
Are you guys a gang? Like, are you
How about
enlisting?
this? You work for me now. What do you want to make a week?
10 gold rilks?
No, bullshit.
Oh,
You're
fuck.
full of shit. You ain't worth that.
5?
All right. 5 gold rilks a week. You work
Yes.
for me now.
Excellent.
Don't suck.
I work for the Thieves Guild, and they have to make the money for the guild. The guild doesn't pay us.
How's your medical plan? Because my leg is pretty rough.
Yeah,
I was
Medical plan.
I was just going to ask if there's any way that we could heal this guy, that he could, during the intermission, walk the crowd and see if he sees this Captain Dimon upstairs. If he could finger him, is the guy that hired their gang, is he in the crowd?
I mean, I don't think you have any way to really like his leg is
Right.
like he's gonna have to be like on bed rest for a number of weeks, probably, if
Sure.
not months.
Don't we have some brandy or some wine?
I think they wrecked the wine cart out the front.
No,
Yeah.
we had some but it takes like time, right?
Oh, you're right. You're right. That's true. And I have how many doses of that?
You could probably heal his like hit points, like his health wouldn't be the problem, but like he's still gonna have like a mangled leg, and
I got 3 doses left.
if you want, like you could maybe like have like help him up and like have him take a peek past the curtain. The problem is right now it's intermission, and so like it's not really like the static, like people aren't sitting real nice right now for you to like see. But he'll take a look, like at the present moment, he'd say, I don't see him, or I don't see anyone that looks like him.
So where do we put him as a guard?
It can stay down here in the cellar, so at least we have an early warning system down here. Either way, I don't think he can walk on his own right now. So
We'll give him like a hammer. He can hit the post to let us know. What do we call you? This person I've hired.
You can call me Besh.
All right, Besh. What are your skills?
I'm good at burning things.
Arsonist, huh?
Yes.
He whines and bleeds good.
Well, Besh, you're going to be our lookout in the cellar, okay?
I can be a lookout.
All right. We're going to give you a hammer and don't run away. If you run away, I'll find you and I'll cut your throat. I'll torture you. The worst you've ever been tortured.
Come on, man.
I will. I promise.
He's good at it too.
Well, if
It's my specialty.
Look,
Would you like to see?
No, I'm hurt enough. Like, I get it. Like, the violence is working.
Very violent men.
It's working.
All right.
But don't worry, you're one of us now. So as long as you behave, none of that will ever happen. Bash.
Good.
Alef said.
Yes.
Smile.
Oh. I don't know what the salty and sweet thing is that you guys got going on, but it makes me really nervous. Don't worry. I'll keep a good eye on things. I'll let you know if there's any problem. Please don't slit anyone's throat. I don't have a wife or kids. Just don't slit anybody's throats. All right? I learned my lesson here.
Well, someone else's throat will most likely be slit tonight, but hopefully it is not yours, okay?
All right.
You just do your job.
Yes.
And we'll be good to go. You got good veins in your neck, though. Be easy.
Wes, you gotta start thinking about a name for your street gang. You already got the first recruit, so coming up there.
The Mickey squad. The Mickey and Wes squad. That's where we go. Or we could name it after our initials or something. I didn't want to become a gang leader, that's for sure. They usually die.
Well, if he loses his leg, he can be part of the Beggars Guild, and he'll get more sympathy that way.
That's true. Mickey could train you. Maybe make you good living,
Come on, don't do that to me. I don't want...
Well, we're not going to try, but I mean, if you develop some greenage in there, we're gonna have to cut it off. You're the one who made the choice to try to burn this place down, and you ran into us. It's kind of, you kind of rolled your own dice the wrong way.
God.
You got to make better friends, Pash. You got to make better choices. You should have a wife and kids, because then I could threaten you even worse,
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, see?
He's just like, whatever you say. Of course, yes, you're right. Yes, sir.
Right, we're going to give you this hammer and pound on this post if someone comes down here. All right?
And he agrees to that. Jalo kind of hollers up from up above for you guys to come up. He wants to touch base, and yeah, I think we'll leave it there. And next time we play, which will be another significant gap, unfortunately, between when we're gonna play, because the next time we would play would be fall on Mother's Day, and I think that will not work for many of us. So next time that we would play would be on the 28th. So about a month from now. If you're hanging out with us here, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to jump into our Discord server where you can sign up for games that we run here on the channel. And just in general, kind of hang out with us and get to know us in between the streams. If you want to see any of the previous episodes of this, you can always check those out on the YouTube channel. There's a playlist there for all of the 20 Sides Against Lankhmar stuff. But that's going to do it for us here tonight. I think we will... Let's see who to raid. Yeah, I think we'll just pass a raid on over to the Darling Creep Show. We'll go see what they're up to. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night. We'll see you guys soon.
Thanks all.